Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take the source material you share with us and we really unpack it. Try to find those core insights, maybe some surprising nuggets. So today we're diving into, well, a really fascinating online exchange. It tackles a pretty fundamental question, about human nature, morality. Our source material is basically a Reddit post. And the comment thread that followed? Someone asked a question. Simple but kind of profound. If there's one thing you could delete from the world, what would it be? Right. A classic thought experiment. And you get the usual suspects, I imagine.
Oh, yeah, exactly. People suggesting, disease, poverty, maybe even mosquitoes. Right? Or traffic jams. Yeah, annoying things, big problems.
But our mission here is to explore one particular answer. It's sort of cut through the noise, suggesting this single root cause for so much darkness.
Yeah, it's the idea that maybe removing hate could be the key. The key to, eliminating evil as we know it.
Wow. Okay. Hate causing evil. That's it. Yeah, let's unpack that. Definitely. So what's really fascinating here, I think, is how out of all those potential answers, this one user identified as John in the source just offered one word. But then he elaborated, right? He didn't just leave it there. And his reasoning was, quite specific, provocative even. It really was. The source actually includes his direct reply, and it does make you stop and think differently. He said, let me quote it. That is a great question, and my answer is, in some way you need to hate something to be evil. And he goes on. So if I took away hate, I would never be evil because no one could ever hate themselves enough to be evil or hate society enough to be evil. So technically, without hate, there wouldn't be evil. So he's drawing a direct, necessary connection. Not just hate sometimes leads to evil, but to...
Exactly. That hate is the essential fuel.
You can't have the kind of thing we call evil without hate powering it. But that's precisely the claim being made in the source material here.
It suggests that, other things like greed or ignorance might cause harm.
Right. Bad actions happen for lots of reasons. But that sustained, deliberate, destructive force we tend to label evil, the argument presented is that it fundamentally requires hate.
Hate's the engine.
It implies a sort of hierarchy then, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Stealing out of greed is bad, obviously. But is it the same kind of thing as, say, systematic cruelty?
Or genocide.
Right. Different categories are wrong.
And the argument here, drawn from the source, is that true evil, whether it's directed inwards or outwards, it's powered by that really intense negative emotion, hate. The source summary even uses that analogy, calling hate a seed from which evil grows.
Yeah, that's a powerful image.
I think that seed and soil analogy is pretty key to grasping this viewpoint.
It's not just saying hate helps evil along.
It's saying hate is the necessary condition.
It's the soil.
Without that soil, the seed of evil may be just, potential malice or indifference.
It just can't sprout.
It can't grow into that destructive force we actually recognize as evil. So if we follow this line of reasoning from the source material, what's the takeaway?
Well, it means this online comment kind of unexpectedly surfaced a major philosophical claim.
Right, from a simple Reddit question.
Yeah, that evil, as this powerful driving force, is fundamentally dependent on hate.
It sort of simplifies something incredibly complex, suggesting this direct causal link.
Remove hate.
And you fundamentally change or maybe even eliminate
the possibility of evil, at least in the way this user John seems to be defining it.
So counting that back to the bigger picture from the source, it really shifts the focus, doesn't it?
Well, instead of just fighting evil acts after they happen or, listing all the symptoms of a broken world, poverty, war, injustice,
this user, John, points towards tackling what he sees as the underlying emotional state that makes those things possible in their worst forms.
Okay, so it's going upstream, targeting the root cause, or at least what's perceived as the root cause here.
While others want to delete the outcomes, like poverty or disease, this perspective says, target the internal driver, the hate that fuels people to perpetuate harm.
It definitely makes you pause and consider the source's central point.
If hate really is that indispensable soil where evil grows, like this comment suggests.
Does focusing our energy, our efforts on getting rid of hate within ourselves, within society, does that offer the most direct path to a better world?
It's a huge question stemming from such a simple online prompt.
A simple question leading to this really complex idea about the nature of evil and where it actually comes from.
It certainly gives you something to mull over.
It really does.
Well, thanks for diving into this one with us.
Absolutely. Food for thought.